All right, let's start off with the disclaimer in the more information box. I have no type of degrees of anything that would be useful, but I think I'm a pretty sharp guy. Everything's your own risk reward, but I'm not talking about charts. I'm actually going to be talking about how would I present beginner investing strategy to somebody at this time frame, which of course is February the 6th, 2018. So the very most basic thing is your investing strategy. Do you have one, and is it diversified? But more importantly, is it working, and is it designed to work from here on out? Because if you have a strategy that is a long-term advantage, something that advantage players look for in Vegas, and well, now within the computers anywhere in the world, then if you have it, the net results should work in your favor. But if you don't have it, then you can think all you want that going to bingo every night is going to make you the big score and work out. But long-term mathematical and the probable odds are not good in your favor. But when the probable odds are good, then that's a very good thing to have working for you. Now, a simple strategy is to not put all your eggs in one basket. Split it up. And, you know, a lot of people that will even say, don't put your eggs in one basket, will have about 100% in the top one. Just saying. But if you put a third in cash, stocks, bonds, all that kind of stuff, and then you put a third in cryptos, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, whatever else you might want to put in, third in precious metals, gold, silver, platinum, palladium, and all that type of stuff. Even copper you can count on that level, whatever. Then you have your situation where if one does very, very, very well, you're going to be very happy. If number one falls flat on its face, then most likely 2 and 3 are going to do good. And if one goes flat on its face and so does 2, then number 3, I'd be very surprised if it went flat on its face. It should go way, way, way higher. But imagine an interesting strategy to consciously know this and say, you know what, I want to put all of it in cash fiat banking and hope it doesn't collapse on me and that cryptos don't go way up and gold and silver don't go way up. Oh, that's going to be fun. Oh, is it? Okay, let's move on. How about trying to put a small amount into a large one? Like turning under $1,000, 3 figures into 6 figures is very, very possible. Especially when you're able to trade successfully, markets go up in your favor, then crushing these numbers. Or making it to this in like no time at all, pretty much. Because I've heard people say that this isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. I guess I'd have to know what your definition of quick is, because in less than a year, I have turned significantly less than 1,000, but significantly more than 100. To significantly more than 100,000, but significantly less than 1,000,000. So I know it can be done. And I know that turning $2,000 to $1 million in 2 years by hodling is very much possible. In fact, you could turn it into multi-millions if you went to Ethereum back then. And back then, we're going to say early January 2016, when the year started. It's been a little over 2 years since. If you decided to say put $2,000 into cryptocurrencies and you spread it out evenly amongst, say, Bitcoin, which was $431 then, up to $7,500 now. Litecoin, $3.44 now up to $132. Dash, $3.33 up to $496, and Ethereum at 93 cents, under $1, over 700. And when I say up to, well, Bitcoin was around 20,000 down to 7,500. Litecoin, I think, was like 400. Dash, it got to close to 1,000, I think, around there. And then Ethereum, well, like 14, 15, 16, 17, I don't know, it got up pretty high as well too. So therefore, if you were hodling this since then, at this point, you'd be worth about $500,000, with Ethereum basically getting you most of your gains. And But back when Bitcoin was like 17,000 and 15,000 and all these other prices were higher, this would have easily been well over or close to around $1 million, whatever. It'd be amazing, amazing gains. When I look at this data even further, I look at things like, well, back in the days when Bitcoin, I remember it from day one, thanks to people like Brother John F. and Da Vinci J15, who I was subscribed to for silver purposes at the time. We're talking about Bitcoin. So I knew when it was trading at $1 and down to 50 cents and up to $4 and all that type of stuff. So I seen Bitcoin go from $3 and change to 20,000. And back in the day when Bitcoin was $3 and change, I mean, hardly anybody was in it. Hardly anybody even knew about it. And then when a year ago came in, start of 2017, a lot more people know about it. A lot more people use it. It's used as money in a much larger, grander sense. And now today, everybody seems to know about it. A lot more people seem to want to use it. See, when I look at the Litecoin prices, Dash, and all those other coins, in January of 2016, I'm looking at them like I was looking at like a Bitcoin back in like 2011 and 2010 when they were at those severe lower prices. And then when I look at Litecoin at like 132, Dash at like 500, and Ethereum at like 700, in equivalency, I'm looking at those prices like even like when Bitcoin was like $250, $300 kind of deal. And then it just shot up huge from that point. So when I look at the possibilities for where Litecoin can make it to not only decent four figures, and decent four figures is 3,000-4,000, but into five figures, which is over 10, even $20,000. And if you want to get technical, if it becomes a $500,000 Bitcoin, then having Litecoin going from 50,000 to 100,000 becomes possible. And then, of course, Dash, Ethereum, and so many other successful cryptocurrencies. And I like to say successful in that a lot of them are out there, and a lot of them are just not going to work, mainly because they're either designed to be a scam, or they're designed with good intentions, but they just don't work because they're just not that good. You could want to be the greatest hockey player in the world, and if you're not that talented, it ain't going to work. You could want to make the greatest coin in the world, but if you don't have the greatest of team and strategy to make a coin, it's going to fail. And of course, I think the coins like Litecoin, Ethereum, and such, they're the safer ones because I don't like the probability odds that those individual ones would have bad rates because of such. That is, they're a scam coin, or it's poorly made and thus prices go down. But this also gives you the reason why if you put small amounts in, I like to say that not only for the reason of leisure spending that can be spent other ways, but if you're like really, really scared to get into the market because of the high risk and such, then it's a motivator to say, yeah, I don't have to invest as much because I can get the spectacular, magnificent gains by playing smaller amounts. Because if you're worth like $500,000, you'd be like, oh man, do I want to put $500,000 into cryptos? What a scary thought. I'm rich enough where I can do it, and it's a big decision for me. And yet you turn 2,000 into $500,000 over time, and now you have the same financial situation that other person with a tough decision has. That's a pretty good thought to have. Okay, I don't think I got anything else I want to go over. So I'm going to end the video, and thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a magnificent day. Bye-bye.